All right. Hey, I'm looking at these problems, 58 through 69, something like that, these inequalities. And I think we should go with what your teacher was trying to tell you. So I'm going to do that. So I'm going to go and plot. So just watch along. I'm going to do number 60. Let's see, parentheses, negative 3x plus 1. Let's see, it's x minus 6. And you can do the same thing on your calculator. So I'm taking the left side of the equation and typing it in for one graph. And then on the right side, let's see, I got 0, so I'll just put in a second equation. That's going to be how I do all these. Two equations. The left and the right will become two equations. Graph it. And these are going to, I guess, what I'm going to look, let's see, the left, let me get this straight. I got two lines, a blue and a red. Obviously the blue one is the left side of the equation. The blue one is negative 3x plus 1 parentheses x minus 6, which, yeah, it's a parabola, and it's going through, looks like 1/3 and 6. The red line is y equals 0. So what this question is asking is, if I look at number 60, here, cursor back over there, it's kind of asking where, for what x values is this equation above, or no, below this equation, because it says less than or equal to below. So basically, where's the blue line below the red line? Let me go back to the calculator. Oh, you can't see my cursor on the calculator, unfortunately. I'll have to work on that. So it looks like from negative infinity all the way up to 1/6, the blue line is below. So you'll get multiple choice. So one of them is going to say, slow with this, is going to say negative infinity to 1/6 union, let me look at the calculator, 6 to infinity. I can see on the calculator, those are the regions where the blue line is below the red line. So that's how you do it. Yeah, graph it. All right, let's see if I can do the next one quicker. I'm going to do, one's easy to type in. I won't even move. All right, I'll do a couple more. I'll do 61. Eek, it's typing. All right. So left side of the equation. Let's see. Negative 6x 3. Here, I'll pause it. All right, that took me so long. And the right side is 0 again, which it won't always be. Some of these, it's like a number 64, it's a 4 on one side. All right, so we'll graph that up. And let's see, in this case, we're trying to make the 6x to the third graph, the blue graph, above the red graph, above 0. So, oh, now you can see my cursor on there, I think. All right, so it's negative infinity all the way up to whatever that point is, which I don't know. But you'll probably be able to guess from the multiple choice. It looks like it's like, I don't know, maybe it's 1/3, but maybe it's 5/9. Who knows? You'll probably just have to guess that from the multiple choice. It looks like it goes from negative infinity all the way up to whatever this fraction is. I'll say it's 1/3 again, because that's where the blue line is above the red line. And then here I can see the blue line is going below the red line, so that part's out. And then it goes back up again. So here, I guess that's 2.5 to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 to 8. The blue line's above again. So from the graph, I'm guessing it's going to be something like infinity to 1/3 union 2.5, say 5/2 back to, did I say 8? I think so. I think that's the solution set. Now, if you want an exact answer for that 5/3, you can, or what, 5/2. Of course, you probably shouldn't need to do this, but second calc, and then intersect. See, I'm trying to figure out this number right here. So it says first curve, so I just hit enter. So I'm just selecting the blue curve and then the red curve. So I'll say, yeah, those two curves. And then I navigate over to the intersection I'm looking for. So I'm just going to put the cursor on, yeah, I want to know what that number is. Sure, 2.5. Okay. So now I'm not guessing, I know the exact number. I could do it again for the other one. See if it'll give me this other fraction. So I just hit enter, because I only have two curves to choose from. I don't have to think about it too much. All right, there's my guess. So that one is 1/3. Okay. Let me pause and I'll enter in number 64. See how that one goes. All right, so here I go. I want to use the fraction button for this one. Oops, didn't work. That one. Let's see, negative x plus 36. Scroll down. X minus 1. All right, now in the second equation, it's not 0 anymore. It is 4. Let's graph those up. Okay, so I'm looking for where the left side is. It's like below the right side because it's less than. So where the blue line is lower than the red line. All right. So it looks like pretty much everywhere the blue line, oh no, the blue line's below over here, but then over there it's above. Sorry, I'm just waking up. Hang on. All right, so looks like from negative infinity all the way up to something, somewhere, at some point it switches. And I guess I can look at this thing and try to figure out where that switches. Maybe I could zoom out on the graph, possibly. Let me try that. This thing doesn't work that good, this zoom out thing. So I always just use the window. And I really only need to zoom out on the Y scale. So I'm going to do negative 100, 100. Now I can more clearly see where that switchover is. It looks like it's about 1. And actually, looking at the equation, I see the denominator is x minus 1, which correlates to an asymptote at x equals 1. All right, I'm ready to answer the question. The blue line's below the red line from negative infinity all the way up to 1. And then it switches. Then the blue line's above. So I only want this section. So my answer is going to be negative infinity all the way up to 1. All right. So I bet you'll get quicker and quicker at those. I'm pretty slow. It took me like 10 minutes to do 3 problems. All right, I'm going to do number 70, which this test is designed for you to do by hand. But if you get your calculator, I'm just going to type it in. And instead of 1/4, I'll just do 0.25, and I'll do parentheses, oops, 0.25 parentheses, 0.5 exponent x plus 2, that's it, and then minus 1. See, yeah, I know from experience already that the horizontal asymptote is going to be negative 1. And it's going to be going up to the right. No, it's going to be going down to the right because the base is 1/2. But don't need to know all that because the calculator is going to do it all. I guess I don't need this line anymore. Okay. Well, let me change that zoom because I'd changed the window before, but rather than type that in, I'll just go zoom standard. I'll automatically make it all 10s. All right, there's my graph. So let's see, determine domain and range. Domain's negative infinity, positive infinity. Range is -1 to infinity, open bracket. because it never reaches -1. Intercepts. Let's see. I guess you could just eyeball that. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't know. How confident am I in that? I guess I could plug 4 into the equation and check it. It looks like -4, right? So let me just punch that in. 1/2. -4 plus 2 minus 1. Let's see. That turns into 4. So let's see. -4 plus 2. -2. And this means you flip it and square it. So it becomes 4. And then you get 1/4 times 4 is 1 minus 1. So it turns into 0. So yeah, -4 is the 0. You could also, I guess you could trace, right? Or you could do second calc 0. Do that real quick. I hit the wrong button. Second calc 0. Left bound. Yeah. Yes. 4. Okay. So that's the x-intercept and the y-intercept. I don't know. You could just plug in x equals 0. The calculator can do that too. Type in a value, which allows you to plug in any x value you want. So 0. Oh, and it's some rotten fraction. So I guess you could, if it's multiple choice, type in all the answer choices and see which one turns into that. If you were just actually doing it by hand, you would plug in 0 for x. So you would get 1/4 times 1/2 second. That's 1. And this turns into 1/4. 1/4 times turns into 1/16. 1. And then you got some fractions, but that's going to turn into -15/16. Any other questions? Increasing everywhere. Increasing from -infinity to, no, decreasing everywhere. Because it's going down the whole time. Asymptotes at y equals -1. Okay. I'm just going to do one more. I'm going to do this guy, number 75. Now you probably remember how to do that. Since the bases are the same, you just set these exponents equal to each other. I think I'm going to use the calculator to show you a cheater way to solve, I guess, any equation. Yeah, any equation. So you see my calculator. So the same thing we did before on the left side. I'm going to type in I'm going to take the left side of the equation and type it into y1. Let's see. Got to use x instead of a. Second line, 2 to the 2x minus 3. Looks good. Then graph. And wherever these things cross, that x value is the solution to the equation. So I could trace, it looks like 1, but I'm not 100% sure. And if I trace, it's not going to give me the exact number. It gives me close, right? But it won't land on exactly 1. Yeah, I could zoom in on it, change the window. But the best way is just do second calc intersect number 5. Okay, first curve blue, second curve red. Doesn't matter. First curve, second curve, and then guess. And then it gives me the real answer, 1. So 0.5 is not part of it. That's just some, we don't need that number. The x value is the solution. You could come back and plug it into the equation and check it. 2 to the -1, and plug in 1 times 1 minus 3. Let's say I get 2 to the -1 on the left, and on the right side I get 2 to the -1. So you can't use that for this one because it's got a y and an x. Same thing with that one, but I guess you could use it for this one. No, that has 2 variables. Of course, it is faster just to solve it by hand. This one, you add the exponents, right? So it's 3 minus 2n. It's 5. And then just set the exponents equal. All right, this one, it's the base is the base, right? So 10 is the base. So this one becomes, and the base switches sides. So it becomes b equals log base 10 of a. This one, x is the base, so it will switch sides, become the base of the inverse function, the log. And this one, 7 is the base, so on. Let's see. This one, they're not asking us to switch forms, so we aren't able to equation. All right. Oh, it just says use a calculator. That should be easy. So find the inverse, just switch x and y. Let's see, and gotta divide by 10 first. And then this has a base of 3, so it'll become a base 3 on the other side. And then that should be it. I guess another way is trying. Since you're getting multiple choice, I suppose, I don't know, I guess you could graph this and then graph all the answer choices, see which ones look like inverses. So this graph would look like something like that, and the correct inverse. That's probably kind of hard to do. I guess another way to use your calculator to cheat, since you're looking for inverses, you could just make up a number for x, like 10, or I guess 9 is, or 3 would be the easiest choice. But you could use your calculator for this. So you would so I picked some number. It doesn't have to be 3, but 3 is the easiest since it's base 3. So log base 3 of 3 is 1. So I get 1 there. And then 10 times 1 is 10. So I get y equals 10. And I'll take whatever that is and I'll plug it back into this equation. It's kind of confusing. Plug it in for x. And if this turns back into 3, then I've chosen the right, then this is the right answer choice. Okay, plug in 10, I get 3 to the first, it's 3. And that's, I guess, a principle of the inverse. If you take a number and plug it into this function, take the output and plug it in as an input into the inverse, it should spit out the number you started with. All right, I gotta go, so I'll cap it there. And let me know if you want to hang out today, hopefully in the evening. All right, let's see.